Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house for a second show. This time is covering X1 chain. Of course, Jack Levin, the vampire, has launched X1, and he's looking to vampire more stuff, which is great. We're going to check it out. I've been pretty impressed, honestly, with the rollout. I think it's going very, very sharp indeed, and we're going to go through the whole ecosystem. So if you know nothing about it, if you know a little bit about it, hopefully you'll have a really good understanding of the kind of the core ecosystem at the moment, both from Jack Levin, Sun Tzu, and of course his in-house team, including Jason from XDex. We're going to talk about that. We're going to look at some of the ecosystem projects out there that are operating, like ZenPub. It's going to be pretty cool, like X1NS name service. We're going to do that too. There's a lot to be covered today, so I hope you guys enjoy it. It's going to be a lot of fun. So it is going to be a really good interview with myself on this. But anyway, let's keep going. Tex and Ian in the house there. Oh, yeah, it's the man. I appreciate that. Big shout out. We've got Hex Grader as well. Hey, gang, good to see you, Mikey. Big shout out. I was just talking to Mikey in the Discord before the live stream, so I hope he's doing well. If you haven't shared the show around on X, definitely do that. And if you're in any of the X1 groups like Zen or DGen or XDex or anything like that, don't forget to post it. It's probably better coming from the community than myself. You don't want to get myself, chucked out before I even started. Otherwise, I won't be able to cover the X channels if I keep posting my links in there. You know how it goes. We've got Vets and Crypto in the house there. Bang, bang. Always a pleasure to see Vets and Crypto in the house. Big shout out. And we got Blair as well. Hi, always that. Blair's such a good supporter of the channel. I appreciate you, Blair. Big shout out too. Vets and Crypto says, thank you for the great updates across the ecosystems. I appreciate that. Yeah, I love it too. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Hey, we've got the DGN crew in the house here. Absolutely. Let's see, DGN looking hot. That's going to be the hot property, I think. And so we're going to cover that a little bit too. Yeah, we're going to check it out. So let's go and see where things are at this stage. Now, obviously, it's still ramping up the ecosystem. It's like a launch phase, as you would call it. And so I think that's going to be probably preeminent once XDex is up and running, right? Once you got a big DEX up and running, I think that's kind of, from my point of view, that's kind of the that launch phase. But from Jack's point of view, probably got a few extra things on there in terms of launching. But I think from most users, once you got that XDex running up, that decentralized exchange, that's really when the party begins. So we're going to check it out as well. And so shall we start? I think we should. Let's get into it. I'm just trying to think where we should go here, from big screen to the small screen. Let's go start off with the Block Explorer. Right? Let's have a look at X1 itself. It's been alive for a few weeks now, so let's check that out. I'm just thinking about what screen I go to here. It's a big screen. Let's go to the full screen, eh? This is X1Vault.online. Now I'm going to post this in the chat here as well as we go, so you guys can keep up to speed. You can copy the links there if you're on YouTube. If you're on X1, it won't be posted in there straight away, but you can hit me up for any links that you thought were cool, or check them out as well. So that's X1. That's the link there. So X1Vault.online. We're just going to have a bit of fun, take our time to walk through this. Right, it's quite a bit of stuff to sort of talk about, but we're going to try and keep it high level as well. And that is X1. So that's there. Basically, you can see the cool planet of the Earth and all the validators, predominantly in the United States and in Europe. But, a few other places like Southeast Asia and I guess, what's this? Where is that? Africa, and Africa as well. In fact, where is that? Nairobi. Okay. Big shout to Nairobi out there. And what's this one down here? So look there. Singapore. Big shout Singapore there. So these are the validators operating. You can see them in their order. Obviously, X1's labs there with the Jack Levin. And we've got this all operating, I think, X1 labs. I think that's all theirs. But different countries. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. But anyway, we've got the top validators. We've got 7.1%, 6.3% of the supply. Remember that the core amount starting for X1, it was 1 billion XNT coins. That is the feed coin equivalent to Ethereum or Pulse on Pulse chain. So it's your feed coin. XNT is the ticker. And at the moment, you can only, if you're not already a validator, you didn't go through all the testing process, etc., you can only buy it through the bridge now, which has been live. So you can actually buy XNT if you haven't got it. We'll talk about that coming up. So if you want to get on early. Now, there is a fixed price to that mechanism, and we'll talk about that when we get to the bridge at the moment. So it is all the validators in there. You can see lots of different teams. There'll be some names. If you're familiar with X1, you'll see some names that are familiar. Here's one, for example, ZenPub. Of course, ZenPub is the big informational site that covers Zen and all things Jack Levin, like X1, etc. And they do an amazing job. They are a top-notch information site at zen.pub, and they've got running their own validators. And I think you can actually delegate to them as well, which if you've got XNT, there are providers you can delegate to. We're going to look at one of them today, which is X1 Ripple, I think it is we're looking at. So kind of cool. And you can see the validators down there. Now, you're probably the further you go, if you've been around X1 a while, you might see a few more. Like here's Sun Tzu 2.0. It's popularly Sun Tzu's ones there, which is one of the two, basically Jack's co-developer in his team. And what do you call it? Let's have a look here. Scrolling a bit down further here, you can see more in the list, and some of them you may or may not know. So I'm just having a look to see what else is kind of friendly and what I know there. There's probably a couple more, just don't see them straight off the bat there, including Ripple, right, which we're going to come up to later. So that is operating at the moment. You can see all the producer numbers and everything else at the top there. But let's go to the Block Explorer. So that is X1Val. Let's go to the Block Explorer, explorer.mainnet.xyz. And this is going to give us a certain amount of information here with this Explorer. So let's post this as well. So you guys, like I said, we're just going to work through this slowly and surely. That is the link there to the site. So there we go. All right. So we've got circulating supply 1 billion. 100% is circulating. Active staked at the moment is 827 million by this count. So what's that? 83% almost is staked by the validators, right? So it's a very cool idea with the validators staked and getting allocated, because it makes it very sticky. The ecosystem ideally, hopefully to help value start off to preserve value, and so you have a low base and you can rise from that base in terms of value price. That's probably the idea around all that. So, and of course the validators typically big believers, right? Been around a long time, that sort of stuff. I guess that's the general logic there. And of course, there are rules to validating to make sure that the system remains robust and not compromised, right? So that's kind of cool right now. We're ticking away there. What slots? The latest slot at the moment is 9,785,000 based on this. What else? They got epochs, right? So it's epoch 57 at the moment. So the epochs take a few hours there. Almost a day from the looks of it, 20 hours or so. So that is where we are at the moment. I just don't remember the top of my head what they start off at with clusters, but that is where we are. In terms of supply, we now have 10 million XNT in inflation. So we start with 1 billion because the validator is validating. We're now up at 1 billion and 10 million. And at the moment, over the bridge, you can only get them for $1. You got to pay $1 per XNT. So that implies a $1 billion market cap, doesn't it? $1 billion market cap there. I don't know. It depends if you include the stake supply, right? Otherwise, it might be a couple hundred million instead. What's that? $280 million if you take the circulating supply. Now they've got total supply at 1 billion, 10 million, and the circulating supply at 1 billion, 10 million. So there we go. Non-circulating supply is 0 at the moment. So arguably that would make it a $1 billion market cap. But of course, the vault, which is where you get it through the bridge, is not a free market. It is a $1 price tag, right? So, and there's a limited supply, and it gets filled up all the time. We'll talk about that coming up. So that is the supply right now, and so on. So kind of cool. Now we're clicked on mainnet there. So that is that's explorer.mainnet. We discovered that. So let's go to another explorer, which is a third-party explorer, so not outside Jack Levin and Sun Tzu. And we've got explorer.forderblocks.com. I will post that too. So this is another block explorer. This is a very nice one, by the way. As you can see, it's pretty nice. So let's go into that. And that is Forder Blocks. And, you got a lot of devs out there, throwing their support in. They really like X1. And, of course, some saying X1 is Solana 2.0, right? Because it's got kind of like improved Solana with all the latest technology and bells and whistles on it, tokenomics. So people calling it kind of the Solana 2.0. So will it be worth as much in the future? Well, it's starting off very, very nicely. So if you're ever going to have a nice start, it's doing very well there. Now, that is what we're at to explore forward blocks there. Now, we can just go to the dashboard here. We've got quite several menus here. We go to the dashboard. We can see the network time. What else have we got down here? Let me just refresh this. Looks like it's not updating, actually, just as I'm talking about it. That happens a lot, right? Happens a lot. So I'm just going to close down some of these websites as we go, just to make sure that's not hogging my compute power. So we got transactions per second at the moment, 2,500 transactions per second. So it's pretty beastie ecosystem, right? Average TPS transactions per second is 2,500. Max TPS 2,500 there. Block times, guys, look at this, 0.06 seconds. So pretty fast block times. You're not waiting around for 9-12 seconds. It's fraction of a second there. Pretty impressive. Network efficiency at the moment, 99.5%. Network load is only 2.5%. So obviously, got to fill up the pipes, right? Fill them up with water, and that's what's going to happen, right? It's going to scale up as well. Now, obviously, there's seems to be a little bit of due to cache. I think there's a little bit of lacking with the blocks and the transaction there. But you guys know what blocks and transaction looks like. So I think we'll move on from there. We've got the blocks page, so I guess we'll just dive into that, and hopefully that might pull it up instead. So we've got the blocks there, we've got the transactions, just taking a little while to repeat there because I've got so much stuff on. We've got the assets, right, tokens and NFTs, everyone's pretty familiar with all that. And then, of course, the validators there, which is kind of the key part of what's happening at the moment, right? So the key phase is the validator phase, which is just ramping up and adding more validators as we go, right? Adding more validators. And so we're going to talk about that in a minute. We've got initializing Zendex. So Zendex analytics is going to be pretty interesting because we've got XDEX, which is going to be the DEX we're going to talk about later on, is being bought in-house. So Jason, the dev of XDEX, been brought into the house with Sun Tzu and Jack Levin into the main team, and got bought out essentially. And but then we still have Zendex out there, right? So Zendex, and so at the moment there's two ways of participating. Two main ways of participating in X1. One is being a validator or delegating to a validator, and number two is doing Zen blocks, right? So validating is the proof of stake side of the chain, and Zen blocks is the proof of work side of the chain. And Zen blocks is kind of sitting out on its own at the moment, and people are mining Zen blocks, right? It's had its third halving on Zen blocks, so people are still doing that. You can win a lot more blocks these days, but of course you're getting a lot lower rewards. There's 3 token rewards, super blocks, which are pretty rare. I think every 500-600 blocks, and we at the moment we think that might be a staking multiplier. Then you get X1NS, which is another token, which is presumably going to be staked and earning XNT coin, the main fee coin there. So that's what we're expecting from the proof of work side. And then there's Uniblocks, right? So Uniblocks possibly for this Zendex. We're going to see where all that plays out, right? So advanced DeFi analytics, real time for the X1 blockchain's premier AMM. So at the moment we've got the Zendex there. That's the name analytics. But we do have this, this potentiality between Uniblocks that are one on Zenblocks and XDEX coming up. So I don't know where that's going to be, how that's going to be resolved, or if anyone's talked about that at all. I have not heard anything about that. Anyway, that's coming and running up at the moment. And we can see the overview there of active users and stuff. So we'll keep track of that. We're going to move on to analytics. We've got analytics page here as well. It's got address statistics, and I'm presuming these are fairly accurate. And then we've got fee trackers. Having trouble rendering the site this time for some reason. And then we've got gas prices. So you probably render for you, but it's just taking time with me for some reason. Network stats as well. So we've got that in the house as well. So it's got lots of different tools you can check out. Failed to load there. I'm just having a little trouble loading some of the stuff. But that is up and running at the moment. Normally works perfectly fine. So that is forward blocks. That's the link there. Now we're going to move on from the blockchain and validators and, of course, the block explorers. We're going to move on into the Oracle. So you need a good price Oracle. We know that in Pulse Chain we didn't really have one until very late with Fetch on there, but now we've got Oracle here, and so on-chain relay system has been deployed. Developers can now use up to half-second prices relayed on the Pyth network there, depending on how you're going to say that. So that's up and running on Pulse on X1, and that's pretty exciting. So huge win there. I think huge win. I'm not sure which was the best view there. Probably this view. I don't know. Let's have a look. Is that view better? Maybe that view's better. Let me just scroll it up a little bit. And so yeah, that's what we've got running at the moment. Actually, I might make that one even one more bigger. Let's see. How's that look? Yeah, it's pretty good. All right, so yeah, we got the online Oracle there too. So think about, we've got the chains up, making blocks and transactions. The validators there validating that proof of stake. We've got Zen blocks working off on the side, proof of work, earning different tokens, as I said, XNM, super blocks, and XUni blocks. People are still doing that out there. And that's kind of the main participation. And of course, part of the validator program is the special reward program. Particularly if I think you're staking USDC, you get an extra bonus. Just trying to remember, I think it's was it 14% or something like that? Someone might be able to remind me about something in there. And so that just boosts the basic. So the basic, if you're just going to be a basic validator, so something like 7-8% APR. I think if you've got the bonuses, it goes up over 20%. So that's pretty nice if you're doing that, part of the early adopter network. And so yeah, I think the validators heading up towards 1,000 validators as well. It's probably another sort of key metric out there. Probably could have gone through that, but it wasn't rendering properly. So that's where we are there now. So we've got the Oracle up and running as well. So you need to be able to relay prices and things like that. So that's kind of cool. Prices and non-prices, no doubt. You can see some of the slots and stuff like that with the activity of the Oracle. Not bad. So that was pretty exciting there from Jack Levin. And that seems to be ticking away pretty nicely. Now, the other one, of course, is the wallet, right? So, you got validators, you got the chain, you're earning yield as first DeFi on the validator, right? Now you got the chain, you got Oracle running up, so developers can use that as reference points for prices, non-prices, no doubt. And then you've got the wallet. You're going to need a wallet for people to interact with, right? So you got the wallet MPV was out on the 8th of November. Now, typically people have been using on the testnet using a backpack, which has got a red little symbol on it. You can use it on Chrome and mobile and things like that. So I think, and so that backpack's been used. That's typically used at one of the Solana wallets, and obviously with X1 being a Solana 2.0 modified Solana, you can just add the RPC in and be able to operate there right with the SVM. So that is come out on the 8th, so it's pretty exciting. So now here we are on like the 18th, and it's 10 days ago, so the wallet's been out. So they basically cloned the wallet and for the backpack, and now that's operating as well, and it works actually a little bit better in my that I've experienced so far. You can actually download the wallet for Chrome and Chromium here as well. So I might post that link in the chat there as well if you guys want to download a wallet. Like I said, it's a fork of Backpack. And that's the link there, right, to Jack Levin's post about that. Download that wallet if you so choose, right? All right, so that is that's kind of cool. We had some further updates about that. So we got the X1 here. So yeah, Google Drive. It takes time for popular wallets to integrate X1. Thankfully, Backpack is open source, so we forked it to work well with the X1 chain. Give it a try, and it also supports Ledger there. So that was pretty cool. Integrated Solana with Quick Switch network as well. So you got the Switch network and swap the network from X1 to Solana. And then, of course, also Android X1 Wallet UI live demo as well for the Android. So that was all pretty positive. Android X1 Wallet now supports Bluetooth Ledger as well. So it's been obviously updating all that. Looking very, very good. And yeah, so it's also got the early version of X1 Wallet for Android, mostly functional but not audited. Ledger HW works with Bluetooth, working on those features. And then a big update there was, around mobile as well. So what else? There's something else up here. Cross-chain swap works great on mobile also, so you can swap within the wallet from looks fit as well with the bridge, with the official bridge. I guess he's talking about the bridge there, which we're going to come up to in a minute. Been developing X1 Solana wallet for Android on Solana. Seeker phone, enjoyable experience so far. 0 issues with the phone. So some more updates there around the wallets. Solana tokens integrated X1 wallet as well. So that's looking really good. The extra Solana details there. And that's some of the key stuff. So I think that's some of the key stuff around the wallet. So you can sort of see there's been quite a lot of development around there, right? So people want to, if they're going to use the bridge, they need a wallet, right? If they're going to participate on the chain. So that's operating pretty well. And since then, we had the bridge, right? So the bridge is up and running. And I think we have the bridge down here a little bit further. Yeah. So the bridge is up and running, and so Solana to X1 bridge test is up. Now that's actually live now, and so you can actually do real stuff from Solana to the bridge. So we'll just zoom in on that a little bit, and all you have to select up your wallet. Now, if you've downloaded the wallet that Jack Levin set up, the fork of Backpack, you can do that, right? And basically you just have to have USDC on Solana in your wallet, right, that you've got in your wallet, and then you can then buy a XN coin, assuming there is supply. So at the moment, there is virtually no supply in there, so you got to wait for it to fill up. But sometimes there have been 3,000 or 4,000 XNT in there. Remember, every XNT is $1, right? Every XNT is $1 in there. So anyway, so let me post Jack Levin there around all the posts, so you can go check the source as always. That's Jack Levin, so the founder of X1. And of course, if you want to go to the bridge, this is the bridge right now, so you can check that as well. You can always go back to source material there for Jack if you so choose. That is the bridge there, app-dev.bridge.x1.xyz. That's the bridge between Solana and X1. All right, so this is the bridge between those two. And so if you've downloaded the wallet, you'll be able to send some Solana to it. If you've got Solana wallet, you can send some USDC from Solana to it, and then you can basically buy some XNT coin on the mainnet. There's not testnet on the mainnet, and but you do have to have a vault balance, right? So you're buying out of the vault, and I think the vault is filled up by Jack Levin, if I remember rightly. So at the moment, there's hardly anything in there, but yesterday, the day before, something, there was 3,000, 5,000. So people were buying it up for $1. And as we said to you, if there's 1 billion and 10 million coins and they're all buying out of the vault for $1, that's $1 billion chain. But of course, it's not market driven, right? It's just fixed price driven out of the vault. But at the moment, it's all getting snapped up because people that are not part of the validated process over the last year or so, then they're having to buy it off the market. And what they can do is they can buy it off the market and they can delegate to validators that are existing, or they can use some of the new protocols that are just launched, which we're going to cover next. We're just doing the basics, right? So that's kind of cool. And this will be pretty instant. So your USDC to XNT, you'll be able to buy some fee coin and be able to operate on X1. Pretty cool. So that gets you going. That gets you started. By the time you've got to here and you've got some of that in your wallet, you will be ready to go, right? Ready to participate in the value creation on the chain. So that's the site there. Now we're going to go to the next one. This is a third-party protocol, one of the early protocols on X1. And this is, of course, what do you want? A name service, right? Just like Ethereum name service. That was a pretty big deal when it launched. Well, this has just come out of testnet and just launched today. So this is hot off the press, X1 name service. A big shout out to X1 name service. And it's at XNT, right? So X1 name service is live on X1 mainnet. You own your digital identity on X1 blockchain. Register your X1, .x1 or .xnt or .zen as well. So for the Zen community, they've also got their own, I guess, I'm not sure what that's called, derivative or something. But anyway, they got that. But X1 obviously is going to be pretty popular, XNT as well. So 3 options there. Now, what's live? The domain registration. So you can register your domain. I guess that's what it's called, domain. And, of course, your domain transfer and deletion. You can transfer them and delete them. There's a full API, transcript SDK. There's a marketplace MVP preview. Now, this is going to be pretty exciting when it goes live because you're going to be able to trade, popular names, aren't you? Or any name. You've got to put them on the market and see what your people will buy them. If you get some good ones, it's going to be pretty interesting with that. There's also a reverse lookup, permanent ownership, no renewals. So it's permanent. One-time payment, yours forever. And you can start minting at X1NS.xyz. So this is really operating, and it's pretty popular. I'm telling you that. It's been pretty good out of the gate. So I'll just post you the link to the X account so you can find the link. But this is right where we are there. So that's the link there. X1NS, and that just went live today. Now I did follow it from on the testnet, and it getting launched onto X1, so it's pretty cool. A very good experience, and I've already got some myself, so it's up and running now. This was just when it launched, right? So you can see 9 hours ago it just launched on mainnet. Pretty cool. And you can see that it had only a very few domains on at the time, 5 registered. That's all it had at the time. which is pretty cool. And you can see lots of cool things there. Now, let's see where we're going here. So they were going to, 9 hours ago, they were going to, the first 800 names that had been registered, they were then going to increase the prices, which seems fair, that they're in there to make, revenue, the commercial business kind of thing. And so after 800 domains, the price was going to double. So originally it was going to be, the first, before the top 800 accounts, essentially, were going to be 20 XNT for one character. So when you have your domain, when you have your name with the domain, sorry, let me go back here. When you have the name, your one character. So if you had the letter 1, so your number 1, and then .x1, then that would be one character. If you had 20.x1, that'd be 2 characters. If you had ENS.x1, then that would be 3 characters. And you pay more at the more, the less characters, the more you pay, because they're rarer, right? They're rarer. Just like if you had 3 characters and you had maybe 789.x1, that'd be 10 XNT, for example. So that's the idea. 5 characters plus is the cheapest, right? So only 1 XNT. Now remember, if you're buying XNT, then it's $1 at the moment. But if you already part of the validator set, you've got all these coins, then it is whatever you mined or whatever you've done in the past in terms of validating, whatever, running servers and stuff. So they were going to jump the price up to 2x that, but of course, due to popular demand, they haven't, right? Due to popular demand, they ended up extending that. So community update. This is just come out. So this was 4 hours ago. We hear you. Due to overwhelming requests from our amazing community, we're extending launch pricing. The new threshold is 1,500 domains, not 800. This extension rewards early adopters with the best pricing, launch prices. X1 DAO community airdrop eligibility. So if you do participate in getting one of these names early, you will participate in the DAO. Now, presumably that also means those that were testing on the testnet, fingers crossed, because some of us were helping out there. Early mainnet minters recognition, so that's kind of cool. I'm not sure what that's going to mean, but that's cool. Testnet participant support, so testnet participant support. Yeah, so some of us were helping out there. Launch pricing now available until 1,500 registrations, so that's pretty cool. So that's all out at the moment. So let's have a look at the site. So this is the live site right now, and obviously you can, once you've downloaded your wallet, or you can connect it up with it, right? Either a backpack or the wallet from Jack Levin, the fork, and you can select up there. You can use the bridge if you haven't got XNT to get some XNT coins, and of course then you can go and make your own coins. So on the homepage, this is the homepage. And once you've actually bought one, so let's look up a name. So there's that one, we've hit 1,021. So there's another 479 names before it gets to that 1,500, and therefore the price goes up, right? Doubles. So there's still time to get in. You guys are nice and early because you're watching this live stream. So before it gets too late, because that's going up quite fast. That number, it's actually going up quite fast, guys. So let's put it in here. We've got. Let's put in, say we're going to look for, I don't know, let's look for Sarah. We're going to just type Sarah. Is Sarah.xnt available? Now you can swap it over to the other domains, X1 or XN, and you can decide which ones you want after. So let's just go with the XNT. We're going to search for that and see what comes up. So that is available. It's going to cost us 1 XNT because it's 5 characters or more, right? Remember, that's the cheapest one. But if we were just going to find something that was this like, let's say Ethereum, and we're on Ethereum.xnt, we'll search for that, and that's available. So Ethereum XNT is actually available. That might be pretty popular in the future. I don't know. You decide. But that is 10 XNT, right? That's 10 XNT because it's only 3 characters. Now, if it's 1 character, let's do the letter 1. That's probably gone, right? Probably gone already. That is available, actually. 1.xnt is actually available, 20 XNT. So that actually might go. That might be pretty popular. Oh, no, what have I done? What have I shown? Anyway, so that actually might be popular in the future, 1.xnt. Now, is 1.x1 available? Let's have a look there. It's taken. So someone's already taken 1.x1, but 1.xnt is still there, so that's interesting. And then there's Zen, right? Zen as well. So let's see if it's gone with Zen. It's available on Zen there. So you've got to see the idea that 1 is the most expensive, right? So 20 XNT. Now that's going to be 40 XNT once we get the 1,500 names, right? So that's the point. It's going to go to 40 XNT, which is $40 if you're buying. Obviously, it's a different cost structure if you've been part of the validator process in the early program. So at the moment, we see there's 209 XNT domains, so the people have made 209 names. 721 X1 domains, so obviously the most popular with the main chain. Excuse me, and there's 91 Zen domains here so far, so a total of 1,021. But that's growing pretty fast. It's going pretty well. All right, so that is kind of cool. Now, if you've been on Ethereum name service, this is kind of the same thing, but it's on X1, and it's going to be pretty useful to you if you're wanting to send crypto to each other or start some commerce business on X1. This stuff all plays into that, right? Now, that's the home. Now, if you do get an address, it will show up on your domain, so you'll have it here, and then so you'll have all these little plaques here, and you'll be able to see that. Now, I think we had an example of this from ZenPub, so we might actually go to ZenPub and quickly bring them up so you guys can see an example of someone that's bought some or booked some names, and let's see if we can find ZenPub there because they did buy some, and they have got a cool look here. Not that one, this one here. So ZenPub, they went in and they started buying. Remember, this is ZenPub's a big information site for X1 and Zen and things like that. They said snagged a few new domains. They got hodl.xnt, trade.xnt, and stats.x1, and a couple more. And of course, they got their ZenPub as well from someone else that got them and generously gave it to them. But this is kind of what it looks like once you get to your domains. This is if you've booked them. This is what it will look like there. So you can see the names that they've got, which matches their business, right? ZenPub, and a few other speculative ones that they've got there, right? So that is pretty cool from them, and it gives you an idea what that would look like. Now, the marketplace is only in preview at the moment, so this is where you're going to be able to buy and sell. Some new project teams might want a particular name, and someone else got it early because they're on the first day, like today, right? They're on the first day. So the people are, try to what they call banking, right? Get some of the key names that you think might work. You don't always get it right, but you think might work, and bank it. Particularly, 1 character, 2 character, 3 characters. Where there's a lot of low characters, there's less options, right? So that's going to be pretty interesting. So there we go. That is the marketplace, and I've given you the link to all that stuff there through the actual developer there, X1NS. So that's operating pretty cool, and that is just live today, guys. So pretty awesome, and it looks great, really smooth. Now, and we're going to talk about that in a minute too. So that there is memo.rip there. All right, so that's kind of cool. And then we've got, we talked about validating early. We're also on chain at the moment. There are a couple of pools that you can go and delegate to. One of those is X1 Ripper pool, and so it's pretty groovy. You can do liquid staking, stake your XNT and receive liquid RXNT tokens that represent your stake position and earning continuous stream of staking yields. So that's pretty cool. You'll be able to also potentially use your XRXNT tokens across XDEX and DGen for additional yield opportunities. But of course, XDEX is not launched yet. The big DEX coming. But that's, where you, not classic, put your XNT, get RXNT, XNT, and then go stake that for more yield, right? Yield opportunities. So it's pretty cool. Instant unstaking, no waiting periods. There is a little fee in there, I think, a 0.2% fee for unstaking RXNT. I'm not sure if there's a particular window of time whether that applies or not, but there is a little fee there. Obviously, it's secure, maximum returns, and capital efficiency are focused there. DeFi ecosystem integration, that will be integrated with XDEX and DGen, which we're about to talk about shortly. And of course, you can use your RXNT. So you can see DeFi there is starting to ramp up, and this is really starting to open up the options there. Now, if you do decide to, if you've already bought XNT or you've got some already, you can then stake it right at the moment. So at the moment you can see that the X Ripper pool has got 10 million XNT staked. Remember, there's 1 billion and 10 million coins all together. That includes 10 million of inflation through the value rewards there. And so you've got 10 million there. So they've got a reserve there as well, 1.68%. They've got the delegated view there as well, just under 9.9 million. So that's the pool details. There's 62 holders of pool with the RXNT. And you can see some of the stats there. So if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll be able to connect your wallet and you'll be able to delegate. Another box will pop up. You'll be able to delegate your XNT, get some RXNT, and you'll start earning in the yield in the pool. You can see the people below. They're already the top providers in this pool. Obviously, the main group will be the main Ripper pool. So at the top there, and it's got a pretty big bulk of the tokens, 9.9 million tokens or so. And then you've got some, fairly large holders underneath, 6,200 tokens. And it's equivalent to, approximately equivalent to, $6,000, etc., based at the dollar for XNT. There is a ratio to XNT for the XRX, and I think it's 1.006 or something like that at the moment. That is dynamic, no doubt. Now you've got the RXNT, and then you've got the XNT state and the withdrawable there. And so over time, presumably that just accrues your yield from supporting the validating, right? So that's kind of play there. You can see there's many wallets sitting in there now. Some of them have small amounts, a couple hundred. Some of them have only 10, 10 or 1. Lots of little players there, just with little bits there, probably just testing it out at the bottom there. So it's testing out. They're playing around with the XNT, all excited, and went into the validator there. So that is the Ripper pool. So I'm going to post you that as well. They're also on X, so you can go check that out. But it is one way of delegating into a validator. Pretty cool. Rather than running your own validator. Running a validator itself, you will need at least a minimum of 2 XNT coins. And I believe if you're trying to access some of the bonus yield or something like 1,000 XNT or something. But once again, you're going to have to probably find a bit more information about that. But that is the X1 Ripper, and you can do delegation there, which is just the easy way of going about it. Doing a validator costs, I think, if you're going to hire a server, rather than buy your own. If you hire a server, it's about $115, $120 a month, something like that, to set that all up. And of course, now if you didn't have XNT, you can now buy it through the bridge, right? So you can, that access for validating's open up as well. And like I say, I think the yield's around 7 or 8% or something like that. You can find out all the details in the X1 Validators group on Telegram, I think. So that's there as well. Sun Tzu, also one of the 2 founders, also has videos on YouTube, well worth watching, with a pretty big deep dive breakdown as well. So that's X1 Ripper there, and it's pretty smooth, and it's going to be integrated with XDEX as well. So that makes it pretty bullish. We're going to earn even more yield. So getting in early on these things is always a pretty good idea for most of the time. So that's an opportunity there as well. Now, also coming up is going to be pretty exciting is prediction markets. So Jack Levin has developed Vero prediction markets, where you're going to be able to bet on the price going up or down, which is pretty cool. And so this is coming up. This is on testnet at the moment. It's also going to have market buys and limit orders as well. So you'll be able to do that with the protocol. And I don't know what they're doing. Yeah, I think I don't know if there's any leverage on this. I think it's just straight spot, as it were. But that's coming in as well. So that's pretty cool. It's going to have all the details, positions, settlements, etc. But I do believe there's not a leverage. It's not a perpetual platform. From the looks of it, it's just a spot platform where you can speculate on the price going up or down. So that is coming up as well. That's on the testnet, and so that probably not too far away, as my guess, to going live on the old X1, which is a pretty big deal. So you can see some pretty cool stuff coming into X1 pretty early on. So that's Vero.testnet at the moment. It's just on the testnet. So we've moved all those ones we've talked about before are all live. Now we're moving into ones that are on testnet that are going to be migrated over to mainnet probably pretty soon, is my guess. So that's pretty cool. Let's jump over to the next one, and that is X1Vault. So X1Vault's also on the testnet. This is from ZenPub. So the other one, that prediction market, there's from Jack Levin. X1 here is from ZenPub, the information site that we talked about before. And this has been on testnet, and they've done some pretty cool stuff on it. And you can actually register information on the blockchain. You can any file type. You can do all sorts of things like HTML, JSON files, PDFs. It's your data is stored permanently on X1 blockchain. Once created, it cannot be deleted or modified, which is pretty cool. You got end-to-end encryption as well, secure marketplace as well. So how it works: just create an inscription, verify and access, and then trade on the marketplace. So you'll be able to trade your inscriptions as well, which are pretty exciting. And of course, we've covered that, I think, with the old BRC20s and other things like that back in the day on Bitcoin. So I think it's kind of similar idea, just on the Bitcoin blockchain there. Sorry, on the X1 blockchain. So pretty cool. They've also got crate page where you can create stuff, store your data permanently on X1, storage as well, and then a marketplace which will open up as well. So I think someone said that they had bought and sold stuff already on the testnet here. So people buying and selling on the testnet for inscriptions. So I think they actually put the whole one of the first inscriptions, I think, was putting the whole of X1 of Zen contract. I think it was Zen code on the blockchain, and that got sold for 100 XNT on the testnet. I think that's what happened here. We go to page 3 here. I'm not sure which one is which, but we've got people putting text images and all sorts of things in here. Hello X1Vault, pictures, text in here. So you sort of see you've got a couple of pages on the testnet already operating. Now this is probably going to go to mainnet pretty soon. I don't think it's probably too far away. Just like we saw the name service. You got some cool little images there. Wallet MVP is out. If you have other group, you can try. So that's some cool stuff. You can even download that. So yeah, I think that's going to be pretty popular. And there has been some trades, I think, as well. So I'm not sure whether there's been, or there's some, you can check all the different filters, but kind of cool. What else is neat there? Got this one here. What's that? SBDX code license. Is etched on the X1 blockchain, or at least on the testnet. So lots of things that can be done there. So that is X1Vault, which is pretty cool. And that's from ZenPub. And so I'll post that link there as well. And you can find out more details from ZenPub, which is probably on the socials there somewhere down the bottom. X1.com, there we go, or X.com. So that is the link to X1Vault, and that is coming soon from the testnet as well, which is pretty cool. So you got two pretty cool products. You got the prediction markets, you got the X1Vaults, etching the markets there coming on to the mainnet as well, which is pretty cool. That brings us up to XDEX, and this is kind of the main event. If you think about it, like anything as a major marketplace where you're trading tokens and projects, this is the kind of once, for maybe not from the developer's point of view, but from the user point of view, is where all the action is really. So this is XDEX will be coming up, and it will be up and running on X1 mainnet after deployment and testing. See you live. Now this is getting pretty close. In fact, I just realized there's something else that's coming up as well. So hopefully I'll bring that up as well. I may not have put that on the list here. But yeah, XDEX will come up and running. So let's have a look at XDEX at the moment. And you can see XDEX here. That is the site at the moment. So there's obviously two farms at the moment. There's WXNT XDEX and WXNT XNM. Remember, XNM was from the Xenium or Zenblocks. That is the proof of work side. And then XNT, of course, is the X1 feed coin. That's the wrap version for DeFi. And of course, XDEX there is the main coin as far as we know it for XDEX, right? That's going to be the main one there. So that's pretty cool. Now you can obviously on here, you'll be able to buy and sell as long as you've got the mark of the beast. No, I'm just kidding. You can buy and sell, pick up all sorts of tokens. There are all sorts of tokens on the list. Pretty cool. You got the XNT at the top, WXNT, XNM, which is the the proof of work side, and XDEX there. So kind of cool. There's lots of features, of course. You can set gas prices and everything else, all the usual stuff you guys are familiar with. So I won't go too much through all that. There's a chart. You can click the chart, and it will have a chart as well. There we go. There's a little bit of charting there. And then, of course, liquidity. You'll be able to provide liquidity. And this is obviously going to be a big part of the DeFi. And this is not launched yet, but this is all testnet. But you can see, be able to do all sorts of different pairs. There'll be lots of project booms, all the projects launching on X1. So it really is going to open up the floodgates of DeFi activity there. Then, of course, you can be able to stake XDEX, which will be the main token for the DEX. And we know DEX tokens normally price pretty well. And so this is pretty cool. Now, they tend to also go up and down with the market of X1 and just the general growth of the ecosystem as well. And so that's kind of cool. You'll be able to stake XDEX there. And I think you earn XDEX. Yeah, you earn XDEX. You stake XDEX and XDEX at the moment. Validator as well. Validator there, you'll be able to. So XDEX has their own validator, just like we looked at that Ripple one, X1 Ripple. You'll be able to stake with, in fact, I think you can stake with any of the validators, just about, at least all the ones that allow you to stake with them. And they've got a list here, and you can go in and stake with maybe not all of them, but a decent number from the looks of it. So presumably that's going to be in place, and you'll be able to delegate here as well. And so it's another option of delegating XNT coin. So if you're earning XNT in any of these pools, you'll be able to stake it and earn more XNT, as part of the validator and support the system of the blockchain from the proof of stake side. Obviously, there's a launch pad. We're going to talk about that in a minute, which is Degen, which is already operating on a Solana. So it's a dual platform. It's going to be XDEX, right? Which makes it even more powerful, right? That's the vampire side of the Solana. Solana 2.0, you might want to call it. You can be able to mint tokens as well. So you can do that on the site, mint new tokens, which is obviously pretty popular. Millions of coins out there these days, aren't they, tokens? portfolio. You'll have an overview of your whole portfolio, and it's going to be pretty cool. So you'll be able to see all that with your portfolio. So if you're doing, liquidity, farming, staking, validating, token launches, and things like that, I guess you'll see it all on here. And then there's a couple of extra things: documentations, feedback, and community, which is pretty cool. So some good stuff in there from Jason is the dev for this. So Jason there. And you'll be able to see all that. I'm just trying to, let me just find out. I'm missing one thing here. I just realized. Let me pull it up here before we move on. So this is XDEX, and of course this is tied in with a DGN as well. DGN is a token launcher site. But let me just quickly find the XDEX. Yeah, so let me find the... I guess I won't be able to show this actually, but let me just a little pause here for a moment. All right, so let me find the stuff here. So there's going to be a site. I'm not sure if it's actually, if I've got it actually up and running here, but let me have a look. Core. So there's a site called Core that's going to be up and running. I don't know if that's the case yet, but there will be a site called Core, and Core is going to be a XP points incentive, right? So you're going to be able to have everything you do on X1 blockchain. There's going to be a site called Core, and you'll be able to operate with that. So that's going to be pretty exciting. So I don't know if I've got it here at the moment, but let me just quickly see if I've got an image of this. So that's from Jason. Jason's the dev from X1, so that's the guy there. And I don't know if he's actually published any prints of the core. You have to go into Telegram to see them. But he will be doing basically, whatever activity you do on X1, you'll be earning points in terms of experience points, and you can get rewards through that. So yeah, it's not showing up here, but if you go to the Telegram group, you will be able to see little snapshots of that, which is showing core. So that's another really big aspect of this, something really neat, I think, coming up there. So whatever activity you do, you're going to earn XP and could get in a rewards program basically for each one chain, which I think is a super great idea straight out of the gate. So keep a lookout for that. That is coming from the X1 guy as well. So 3 platforms really: XDEX, Core, and yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. We'll probably talk about on another update when we do another update on X1. The next one there, did I post a link to that? I did Vault, so let me go back here and post this link as well. So we'll come up to that. Queen Pui says, Queen Pui says, what a deep dive. Yeah, well, it's actually an overview, but we are doing a pretty comprehensive ecosystem so far. Hopefully I haven't missed anything. That's always the thing, but I think I got everything. There may be a few validators that I'm missing. Public validators there. Or delegations, yeah. So we've got testnet there. That's the one there. So you can check that out. This is really going to be, when the real things take off, really big time. All the applications are really great quality. All of them are valuable that we've been going through so far. So it's really, like I said, I'm really impressed with what we're seeing in the initial rollout phase of X1. Really, really impressive. And like I say, the validators are, heading towards 1,000 or something. So it's all going very well indeed. All right, so that's the XDEX there. And then we've got DGen, of course, which is associated to XDEX. This is already operating on Solana. So it's already live. There's a DGen token trading already. And so, this is pretty popular, right? So it's looking pretty good. And it's going to be dual on, so it's a bit like a pump tires, I guess, pump fund sort of thing, but launching pad. So you've got the homepage. You can launch token just by clicking launch. And when you click launch, you can do Solana right now. But soon you're going to be able to do Giga launch, which will be just X1 chain. You're just launching on X1. And then you're going to be able to do DGen launch, which is launching on both chains at the same time, Solana and X1. So max chaos dual launch for both chains. So very excited about that. Now, I do believe that we're waiting for some upgrade on X1 before XDEX launches, but it must be very soon, must be getting very close. And also DGen also operating. So you can see this is a major addition and really could signal kind of the beginning of the first, the launch phase, at least from a user point of view. From Jack's point of view, maybe they've got a few other things in mind, but that's kind of That's kind of what, once you can buy and sell and set up project stuff, that's kind of where we are. So pretty cool. We also got a feed in there as well. Swapping, you can obviously swap as well in here. You'll be able to, or shill board, you can be able to shill your project, add your video. So that's going to be pretty popular, right? Staking, they're going to have staking in. They got staking in here, I think. Yeah. I haven't operated it, but I think if you got possibly if you got DGN already on Solana, you can do that. And you got more, right? So DGN, was it DGN skills here, something like that? DGN something, DGN NFTs, DGN NFTs from looks at. So they got their own NFT mint, DGN Skull NFTs. So you can check that out in your own time. Skill Wars, Skull Wars. I keep calling it Skill Wars, but Skull Wars, NFT collections, weekly trading competitions, weekly loyalty giveaways. So there's lots of extra stuff in there. You can check that out. Obviously, there's people operating on Solana or trading on Solana with DGN, which is the main token, right? DGN. And presumably, you might get some benefit from that possibly on the X1 when it operates. So that's kind of cool. What's this one? Here's the final part of the menu. So this is operational already, the TGN, but like I say, it hasn't gone onto X1 mainnet yet, but it's going to be getting pretty close. You can see some of the tokenomics and TGN NFTs. You want to learn all about it, just go to the documents and you can understand all that. But man, it's about to scale up big time, right? From not just Solana, but X1, and it's going to be the gateway in many ways to that, which is pretty cool. All right, so some exciting stuff there, and things going pretty good there, I think. So that is kind of an overview of X1 ecosystem where it is largely at the moment. Like I say, they're probably the only thing that I can think of that I missed is possibly some other public validator / delegators. But we did cover X-Ripple. I think ZenPub operates their own one as well. You possibly go to the ZenPub site and possibly get through that. To stake there, and also XTX is going to open up many other validated delegations as well, where you can delegate your XNT. Could be pretty cool. I was wondering what that beat was. That beat was the prediction market from Vero, which is on testing at the moment. So that's about 54 minutes to go through that. I hope you guys enjoyed it. X1 there from Jack Levin. It's I'm pretty impressed with how it's rolling out so far. So that's all you can say. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, and don't forget to smash the follow on X. If you guys want to join the Validator Club in the Strategy Club, I should say Validator Club. I'm starting my own Validator Club. Strategy Club then you can find the links in the video description or pinned at the top of the X platform, and you can join up to that. Only $35 a month, so fantastic value there. Lots of intel and insights provided in that Strategy Club. Not an investment group, it's Strategy Club, sort of intel and discussions and things like that. Multi-chain as well, so well worth getting in there. Great value. All right, hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll catch you again on tomorrow's show, my normal daily show as well, somewhere between 5 and 7 p.m. Eastern. Catch you then. Hope you enjoyed it. X1 to the moon from the looks of it. And it's always great to have some diversification in your portfolio, not just across projects and tokens, but across chain. And that balances out your portfolio and your risk and return. But you're always obviously trying to chase the best quality. That's it. Trace the best quality there. So impressive start, I think, from Jack Levin and Sun Tzu, Jason, and the rest of the developers. Building around the X1 chain. It's going to be fun to see XDEX launch. I think that's really going to be a lot of fun to see a market price start get pushed on to X1 potentially. So XNT, I should say, potentially. So that's going to be fun. How much will it be worth? 1 billion, 2 billion, 10 billion? We will find out in due course. All right, take care, everybody, and hope you enjoyed the show. Catch you again. We'll do another update maybe in a few weeks. We'll see how our developments go. If there's a lot of stuff coming out, I'll do another stream on X1 coming up soon. All right, take care. Bye for now.